Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Patke and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to analyze the 4 days play of the third test at Rajkot, which concluded today. And India just hammered England by 434 runs, a massive margin for this victory. And it is the highest margin by which Team India has won in its test history, eclipsing the 375 or 376 runs. I think 13 or 14 months ago, the match took place when New Zealand toured India, and it was absolute hammering of England, and their bats ball approach has raised a lot more question whether it is viable to play in the Indian conditions or not, or does England need to tweak its strategy slightly when the odds are not in their favor. Ravindra Jadeja was adjudged the player of the match for his magnificent 5-wicket haul in the second innings, as well as the century he scored earlier in the match, and it was a typical Ravindra Jadeja display at his home ground in Rajkot, and his man of the match award was pretty much deserved. So all in all the positives we have to take for Team India. So first of all, we will analyze where India took off. India started the day with 196 for 2 in just 51 overs, and we just hammered English bowlers with no mercy at all, particularly Yashasvi Jaiswal. But Shubman Gill was actually very unfortunate to miss out, I beg your pardon, on a well-deserved 100. He was run out due to the mistake of Kuldeep Yadav on 91, and excellent throw by Ben Stokes to Tom Hartley, who collected the throw well and calmly and composedly dislodged the bails. Actually, English players weren't also too confident at the time of the dismissal, but he was pretty much anguished, and there was 150 at least for the taking there for Shubman Gill. Poor and awful call from Kuldeep Yadav, but he has to live with it. But before getting out, he actually played some scintillating strokes, and the Shubman Gill of old, which we see in the test format, was currently unleashed, and as much as he grows into confidence, he will play pretty nicely. He has sealed his place, in my humble opinion, for the fourth test match in Ranchi and the final one, which is going to take place in Dharmshala. Kuldeep Yadav actually stroked 3 boundaries. One was towards the third man region, and other one was straight down the ground, so he actually did his job pretty well. 27 of 19 delivery. He was eventually dismissed by Rehan Ahmed, with Joe Root taking a simple catch. After that, Yashasvi Jaiswal came to the crease and hammered England all around the ground. He eventually finished on 214 of just 236 deliveries at a strike rate of 90.68, which is phenomenal stuff. And the way he took down James Anderson, he smashed one of the greatest living bowlers of all time for 3 consecutive sixes. One was over deep square leg. The second 6 was, I think, the shot of the game. He charged down the ground and hammered James Anderson over deep extra cover for 6, and the third one he hit straight over long on. So all in all, excellent range. And James Anderson also, it was the second time in his career that he had been plundered for 3 sixes in an over. If the cricket fans would remember that George Bailey actually took 28 runs off him in a test match in 2013 Ashes, which England went on to lose famously by 5-0. That was the Mitchell Johnson series. Coming back to 2024, and Yashasvi Jaiswal was equally severe on English spinners, particularly Tom Hartley. He just danced down the track, used his feet and smashed him over deep mid wicket, long on cow corner region, and all there is to be tried by English bowlers was tried, but it didn't work. He peppered English bowlers towards the offside as well with couple of scintillating cover drives. He played the cut shot pretty well as well, and he equaled the record of Wasim Akram, who in 1996 he scored, I think, 252 or 256 against Zimbabwe at Gujranwala, I beg your pardon. In that innings, Wasim Akram had smashed 12 sixes, and today Yashasvi Jaiswal has equaled Wasim Akram's record. So congratulations to him, and Wasim bhai is not alone in that list. He has got some company now. I was desperately hoping that he has the world record, but the form in which he is in, That might happen in the fourth test match. Who knows? So all in all, second double 100 for Yashasvi Jaiswal in just his seventh test match. Can you believe it? He becomes the third youngest player in the history of test cricket to score two triple centuries at such a young age. The world record belongs to the Indian batsman. Many of you have been forgotten, but he was a classic player. Unfortunately, his career was derailed due to his own mistakes and due to some other circumstances. I am talking about Vinod Kambli. He actually scored a double 100 against Zimbabwe and England in 1993. So that is 30 years ago. The second number is of Sir Don Bradman. Third number is Yashasvi Jaiswal, and the fourth number was Graham Smith. So an excellent company to be in. Yashasvi Jaiswal 214. As we know that he had back spasms yesterday. He came out after the dismissal of Shubman Gill, and today scored 110 runs in just 103 balls. Total 214 of 236, and there was an even Stevens competition between him and Ravindra Jadeja for man of the match, but Jadeja took it due to the brilliant performance he bowled in the second innings. He took a 5-wicket haul, and Sarfaraz Khan continuing on his merry way, smashed Joe Root especially over deep mid wicket, over cow corner, used his feet tremendously well. And one aspect of Sarfaraz Khan's game is pretty underrated, that we know that he is a phenomenal player of spin. Years of grind in the domestic cricket have just made his technique against spin absolutely watertight, and but he also has the ability to hit sixes without charging down the ground, with staying put to the crease, which we saw a couple of times as well. So that gives us the ability, that tells us what unique ability that he possesses currently. 68 of 72, 3 massive sixes, as well as 6 boundaries to go with it, at a phenomenal strike rate of 94.44. So that is almost 95. India declared their innings for 430 for 4 in 98 overs. The overall economy rate was 4.38, which is absolutely world class. I don't know who was playing baseball, whether India was playing or whether it is England is playing, and India actually plundered 234 runs in just 47 overs at an economy rate, at a run rate of 4.97, which is actually near about 5 runs per over. So phenomenal hitting, and Team India got the memo. So India led by 556. England were faced with a daunting task of scoring 557 runs, which actually they could not muster at all. Indian bowlers actually gave away 12 extra runs, but England just could contribute 122 runs, out of which 12 were extras. So English batsmen could only contribute 110 runs. An awful and pretty much out of the way batting, and I don't know what baseball has done to the psyche of players who play good cricket, good traditional conventional cricket, like Joe Root and Ben Stokes. They have to evaluate that approach, but by the looks of it, Ben Stokes was unapologetic in the post-match press conference that the England team will continue to play like this, and my answer to him is that you will continue to lose like this. Pretty embarrassing defeat for England by 434 runs. As I mentioned at the start of the video, it is the highest margin by which an Indian team has won the test match in its history. So that tells us about the magnitude of this victory. Zach Crawley was the first to go, 11 of 26 deliveries, although he smacked a couple of boundaries. Clear LBW to an in-swinging delivery. Brilliant in-swinging delivery by Jasprit Bumrah, to which Zach Crawley had absolutely no answer. Ben Duckett was run out due to a very horrible confusion with and his run out was done by Mohammad Siraj with a direct hit. So well done to Siraj. Oli Pope also, after his 196 in the second innings of the first test, hasn't been able to replicate that form, and that is a cause of worry for England. 3 of 14 deliveries. Ravindra Jadeja took his wicket with a pretty loose shot and simple catch to the Indian captain Rohit Sharma, who once again maneuvered the bowler pretty well. Joe Root just scoring 7 of 40 deliveries. He was trapped in front by Ravindra Jadeja. Actually, he was given out, and after his dismissal there was a huge gap between bat and pad. Actually, the spike on DRS was that the bat hitting off the ground, but Joe Root thought that I am not out, blah blah blah, whatever his stupid fantasies that he's creating in his mind. But anyways, that is no way to hide his incompetence, and a staggering fact has come to light that Joe Root actually has bowled more overs in this tour in 6 innings as compared to the runs he has scored. So what horrible state of mind Joe Root currently is in, and I think we have to replace Joe Root from the Fab Four now. He hasn't been contributing at all, and his record against world-class seam bowlers and spinners like Ravichandran Ashwin, Jasprit Bumrah, or Pat Cummins for that matter is very very horrible, and he doesn't deserve to be in the top four based on this form. Johnny Bairstow once again proving to the English pundits, to the English media as well as the casual fans why he shouldn't be selected in Test cricket instead of why they are keep persisting with him. I don't know. 4 of 3 deliveries, just a solitary boundary. He was also trapped plumb in front by Ravindra Jadeja. His average actually isn't even 10 in India. That is very very bad, and I don't know for how long English team management is going to persist with Johnny Bairstow. It is one thing applying the baseball technique in England. It is completely other when you are touring India, and India is not classified a weak team as Pakistan or Sri Lanka or South Africa. In India, it is the biggest and daunting task, especially to defeat us in Test cricket, and England found out the very hard way. Ben Stokes also was LBW plumb in front of Kuldeep Yadav, who actually played his part pretty well. Ben Foakes 16 runs of 39 deliveries, just 2 boundaries. His wicket was taken by Ravindra Jadeja with a sharp catch taken behind by Dhruv Jurel, who impressed one and all with his magnificent wicket keeping skills as well. Rehan Ahmed was caught out in the deep off the bowling of Kuldeep Yadav, with Siraj taking a simple catch. Tom Hartley tried to put up some resistance towards the latter stage. 16 of 36 deliveries, 2 boundaries and a 6 as well, but he was LBW by Ravichandran Ashwin, who actually against all odds returned to this test match. That is actually a very fascinating story, that honorary secretary of BCCI Mr. Jay Shah actually had a chartered plane from Mumbai to Rajkot especially for Ravichandran Ashwin, and kudos to BCCI for the management and Jay Shah as well, and more appreciation to Ravichandran Ashwin. Despite the fact of facing a family emergency at home, his mother's health is not actually very good. Still, he came out to take his part in the test match. So, salute to Ravichandran Ashwin, and his commitment and his integrity for representing India is a testament and example that all the people should follow actually. Mark Wood with some fireworks towards the latter stage of the innings, but it was too little too late. 33 of 15 deliveries, 1 6 and 6 boundaries, a strike rate of 220. So in short, baseball was implemented, but it was implemented by Mark Wood, not the other 10 English batsmen. His wicket was taken by Ravindra Jadeja, with fittingly Jaiswal taking the catch. Both the heroes of the test match for Team India doing the honours. James Anderson was not out on 1 of 9 deliveries. So all in all, we've England 122 all out, 39.4 overs. India crushing them by 434 runs. Bumrah in 8 overs, 1 maiden, 18 runs. He picked up the wicket of Zach Crawley, was very good as usual. Siraj also did a nice containing job, 5 overs, 2 maiden, 16 runs, no wicket. Jaddu in his hometown, he looked all at home, and he has proved that he is the best Indian all-rounder in this generation by a mile, and I think he is currently the best all-rounder in the world, even better than Ben Stokes going on current form. 12.4 overs, 4 maidens, 41 runs and 5 wickets. Kuldeep Yadav, excellent supporting role in his own right. He also bowled particularly well, didn't give much breathing space to the English batsman. 8 overs, 2 maidens, 19 runs, 2 wickets. And Ravi Ashwin, who returned to Rajkot today itself from a chartered flight, as I had mentioned few moments ago, from Chennai. 6 overs, 3 maidens, 19 runs. He took the wicket of Tom Hartley. So all in all, a comprehensive thrashing of Team India, of the arrogant baseball and the English media. And I don't know how the English media will now cover their tracks, because their team has been completely humiliated, and I think a 4-1 brown wash is loading for England. So how did you like my analysis of the 4th test play and overall the 3rd test match? Please tell me in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next video. Till then everyone, bye.